Hello, my awesome project managers. How are you? I got a few questions over the weekend. I want to address them. First question came from one of our students on our Monday, Wednesday, Friday class from Ken. And Ken asked the question about Agile. Now, we've just finished some Agile training with our instructor, Roy. And the question came up, well, how do I know what to focus on for the PMP exam? Let me show you real quick what to focus on if you are a PMP exam student. You have this book. You have this book. Friendly advice. I know PMP students are always looking for shortcuts. But this one, I'll just tell you honestly, what prohibits you from reading this? Read the whole thing, right? Just read the whole thing. Read it. Get it over and done with. And then focus. I'm going to call out pages you should focus on. Again, it's the Agile Practice Guide. And the question is, what do I focus on? So let me give you some context. First of all, you need to understand the manifesto, know the manifesto, understand it, embrace it, understand it, let it sink in. And then understand the principles. So page 1 is kind of like the layup for what is coming ahead. And then all these details I'm talking about, page 8, the Agile manifesto and mindset. The mindset, it trumps everything. Very important, the mindset. And then if you go to page 9, you've got the 12 principles behind the Agile manifesto. Internalize that, okay? So page 8 and 9, they need to be understood. And then we've got page 10, shows the relationship between the Agile manifesto, values, principles, and common practices. These help you. And then just take a look at figure 2-4 on page 11 and try and understand the umbrella, the Agile umbrella. It says Agile is a blanket term for many approaches. Try and understand at a high level, okay? So you can see they've broken Agile into some smaller pieces there, but honestly, we know that 70% of the world of Agile uses Scrum. A lot of people, they don't want to call it Scrum, come up with all sorts of inventive names. Be honest, it's Scrum. Just tweak something. And we're grateful that Ken and Jeff gave it to us for free. So stop trying to pretend that they didn't create it or that you created something different. Enough said. Enough said. Let's go on. Please ignore that. PMP students, you won't even know what that's all about. All right. And we have a section on Lean and Kanban on page 12. Okay. Not a bad one to read. All right. A very helpful image on page 14. It reads, Uncertainty and Complexity, model inspired by the Stacy complexity model. That's one to read and understand as well. Please read page 18, table 3-1. Please read page 19, figure 3-1. These help you embrace and understand Agile a lot better, okay? And then read everything from page 20 all the way to page 32, because the PMI expects you to understand tailoring. Now, as you read from 20 to 32, pay attention to page 27. Figure 3-6, Agile development followed by a predictive rollout, just shows you. Agile could be first and then a predictive approach. And then it shows you, you could have an Agile predictive sandwich, so to speak, figure 3-7. And then you can have a little bit of Agile mixed into predictive, figure 3-8 on page 28. And then you can have a little bit of predictive mixed into Agile, page 28, figure 3-9. Okay. There's a rather interesting page on mixing Agile approaches, page 31, and then page 32, okay, which is quite helpful. All right. I would also recommend focusing on servant leadership, especially those of you taking the exam in 2021. Please focus on servant leadership. Do that. Page 31, oh, I beg your pardon, page 33, page 34, page 35. Very good read, page 36. For those of you just coming, we're talking about the Agile Practice Guide. I'm showing you what to focus on. Honestly, if you took one afternoon of 3 hours, locked yourself in a room, focus on these pages I'm telling you, it will add value to your PMP prep, trust me. to your PMP exam. Okay, we have page 37. Let me just read it because I know some people might fly over it anyway, but this is an important one because there's often a misconception that in the world of Agile, the project manager is axed. It's not really the case. We could still have a project manager even in an Agile environment. It says, the role of the project manager in an Agile project is somewhat of an unknown because many Agile frameworks and approaches do not address the role of the project manager. Some Agile practitioners think the role of a project manager is not needed due to self-organizing teams taking on the former responsibilities of the project manager. However, pragmatic Agile practitioners and organizations realize that project managers can add significant value in many situations. The key difference is that their roles and responsibilities look somewhat different. Tip: the value of the project managers is not in their position, but in their ability to make everyone else better. It says, project managers use servant leadership. This is the next page. PMP Guide 6th edition defines a project manager as a person assigned by the performing organization to lead the team. Watch the word lead. And that's why when we say project manager, it sounds like management. That's why people kick against the project manager role. The PMI say lead the team. I like the word project leader. It's not very common though. Many project managers are accustomed to being at the center of coordination for the project, tracking and representing the team's status to the rest of the organization. This approach was fine when projects were decomposed into siloed functions. However, in high change projects, there is more complexity than one person can manage. Instead, cross-functional teams coordinate their own work and collaborate with the business representatives, the product owner. When working on an Agile project, project managers shift from being the center to serving. And that's why I said read the servant leadership aspect. It will help you. Shift from being the center to serving the team and the management. In an Agile environment, project managers are servant leaders, changing their emphasis to coaching people who want help, fostering greater collaboration on the team, and aligning stakeholders' needs. As a servant leader, project managers encourage the distribution of responsibility to the team, to those people who have the knowledge to get the work done. So, the summary is this: borrow a few things from the Scrum Master. The Scrum Master is a servant leader, and that's what the project manager should be in an Agile project. All right. Now, one more thing. This book, the PMP Guide, you have a lot of Agile stuff buried in the middle. A lot of you don't know, but I would encourage you for every chapter, read the CTTCs, Concepts, Trends, Tailoring, and Consideration for Agile. Read it. Now, let's use one chapter as an example. Chapter 4. Let's go to the very beginning where we have CTTCs. Page 74. Okay, so wherever you see considerations for Agile/adaptive environments at the beginning of every chapter, please read it. Please, in this book. Now, the good news for those of you that hate lugging it around is that everything that's in this book where it says considerations for Agile/adaptive environment is also in here. But this is a smaller book, right? So a lot of people prefer this. This is on page 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. And that has all the stuff that you need to know that is in the PMP Guide. But you still need to read the concepts, trends, and tailoring. Not necessarily because it's Agile, but because a lot of people fly over that and they don't embrace the content as they do the actual process content, but you should. All right. Well, my friends, I think that's it. There's a lot of other very helpful points throughout. In fact, let me be honest with you, okay? There is one section further down in the book that I would recommend you focus on, because I don't want to assume you've been for Agile training. Maybe you haven't, maybe you have, but okay. So implementing Agile, chapter 5 on page 49, all of these terms talked about, okay? Backlog preparation, backlog refinement, daily stand-ups, retrospectives. So that's page 50, retrospectives, 52, backlog preparation, backlog refinement, daily stand-ups, demonstrations, demos, reviews, page 55, planning for iteration-based Agile, that stuff. Measurement in Agile, some of these things could be helpful. Burn down charts, page 62. These are in the PMP guide as well, burn down charts. We also have burn up charts, page 63. Know what those are. And then page 65, Kanban. Understand Kanban, please. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. I know some people are already groaning. Phil, you just gave me 3 more hours of study and I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you so you are not shocked when you get into the exam and you realize a lot of stuff is right from here, okay? Now, 2021, of course, I mean, you have to be all over this in 2021. In 2020, you do need to be into this, but not to the degree that you do need to be in 2021 when the PMP exam changes. It will change. Now, for those of you who are like, Phil, I need help. How do I get all this Agile stuff into my head? How do I master it? Well, we have a website called agileprinciple.com. And on agileprinciple.com, we actually have training for the PMP exam that is focused on Agile. We just concluded another session this weekend, but you can get the session on demand. If that is of interest to you, you might want to look in the comments. I'll actually show it to you right now so that you know what it looks like. And we have this on demand on Vimeo. So if you go to vimeo.com/on-demand/Agile PMP, you can actually watch the previous sessions from this curriculum. Let me show it to you real quick. Yeah, so if you go here, that's Roy. If you go here, you see that we have 7 hours of Agile training. Going through this will set you up for success. And actually, we've got another 6 hours that's going to be added to this that gives a double layer. So if you are struggling with Agile, you need to go sign up for this course. It's very robust, but it will help you, for your exam. I know a lot of times I try to prevent students from going off on a wild goose chase or rabbit trail, but trust me, you need Agile, you do. All right? I hope this helps you. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.